True freedom is inside of me. Evolution of human consciousness. The final transformation leading to a divine life. I have been known as Dr. Tanya since my graduation from dental school in 1987. Today, I no longer identify with the title or the full name because I have connected to my true self, my soul. I am Diestati. I met Lee, an American who lived in Florida, at an investment conference in Cancun, May 2002. I did not allow myself to believe that Lee would be interested in a complete family. My daughter Luba was 10 years old, and my son Greg was 8. Belonging to a family was, in fact, Lee's deepest need and desire. Even life in the very cold winters of Ottawa, Canada, did not scare Lee away. We were married on a cruise ship in Barbados, December 2003. Luba and Greg celebrated with us. Life with Lee was amazing for almost 10 years. We traveled the world with Luba and Greg, mostly by cruising. In early 2003, Lee introduced me to Paradigm Education. The minute I heard this information, I could not stop myself from trying to share it with others. We formally promoted this human rights education because we believed we had found the truth, and I needed to inform others of the imminent world financial collapse. I openly stopped paying income tax, and the government did not bother me for years. I believed that their tacit acceptance was proof that I was right. Lee and I were arrested for income tax evasion and the promotion of Paradigm Education, December 6, 2011. This was what can be called a shock situation for both of us. I was able to pull myself together quite quickly because unknowingly I was preparing myself for this for 10 years. I started writing letters to Lee to help him deal with his emotional state and this immense challenge we created for ourselves. In these videos, I share a few of the letters I wrote to Lee during our incarceration. Sri Aurobindo synthesized the Eastern and Western ideas of evolution and boldly declared that humans are transitional beings. They're not final. Evolution continues, and humans will be surpassed. This is the future awaiting humanity. This is an unprecedented adventure of consciousness on Earth. Only the descent of the supermind into the universalized human instrument can successfully transform the obscure consciousness of the physical nature. Humanity is now in the final transformation leading to a divine life, and eventually the birth of a new species on Earth. It is a radical proposal that has never been attempted in the past. Thus, the integral yoga goes beyond the individual liberation and embarks on a collective and evolutionary transformation on Earth. This is the future awaiting humanity. However, as long as I remain unaware of who I am and the role I am destined to play here on planet Earth, I will reincarnate and be forced to suffer the recurring Earth cataclysms. Finally, after many lifetimes, I understand that planet Earth is a very special place where the new divine kingdom will manifest. Evolution went from mineral to plant to animal to human, and now it is ready for the divine. Homo sapiens serves as a terrestrial species between the animal kingdom and the future divine kingdom. An awakened critical mass of human beings must accomplish the transformation of their three bodies: the mental body, the vital energy body, and the physical body. When this critical mass is reached, the new divine kingdom will manifest. The new divine body will be made up of a completely new matter. We can't imagine this new matter because it is found beyond the mind. This transformation cannot be accomplished through means such as occultism, magic, technologies such as genetics, robotics, artificial intelligence, or nanotechnology. This is an individual, internal transformation, and it must be guided by the individual soul. The human being is the most complex living organism in the universe. We only learn about the names and functions of the human organs and tissues, but the subtle physical body, the mental body, and the vital body are ignored. It is impossible to prove scientifically the existence of all the invisible parts in a human being. Sri Aurobindo wrote about 1. The unconscious, 2. The subconscious, 3. The physical, 4. The lower vital, 5. The central vital, 6. The emotional vital, 7. The expressive mind, 8. The dynamic mind, 9. The higher mind, 10. The illumined mind, 11. The intuitive mind, 12. The overmind, 13. The supramental beyond mind, and 14. Satchit Ananda, being, consciousness, bliss. Most human beings function on the current consciousness levels: 3. The physical, 4. The lower vital, 5. The middle or central vital, 6. The high or emotional vital, 7. The expressive mind, and 8. The logical or dynamic mind. In a human being, all these levels are controlled by ego and its numerous egotistic personalities. If I wish to know myself, my true self, I must be able to identify who is in control of the body vehicle. When I am consciously aware of my egotistic personalities, I can start the dissolution of these egotistic personalities. I must dissolve these personalities because they slow down my evolution of consciousness and obstruct the transformation of my 3 bodies. We are living in a critical moment of the history of our universe. For billions of years, matter has been slowly awakening from its inertia through a multitude of experiences and a lot of suffering. Now is the time when matter will transform, and the human body is the bridge between the old matter and the new matter. We will experience a transformation and not just an improvement of matter. We're hearing about transhumanism, the mental, vital, and physical improvement of human beings. The popular Avatar 2045 project proposes to gradually replace human bodies by genetic modification to create immortal, perfect avatars with an unlimited artificial intelligence. It is what some people call singularity. This, however, is the illusory equivalent of the divine, infinite love transformation. In every instant, we have to choose between the cyborg of transhumanism or the Superman who will precede the supramental being announced by Sri Aurobindo. Articles written by Mado, tripletransformation.ca. The English articles were written from 2005 to 2017. I highly recommend Ego, Friend or Foe. Infinite love transformation will express truth consciousness inside individual physical bodies. What is being manifested is a new kingdom, one that goes beyond the human being. This is a transformation of human consciousness, and it happens individually, not collectively. It will happen as a result of individuals who celebrate their difference and find the courage to get out of the collective mind prison. The global elite, they have been trying to stop humanity's evolution of consciousness because they must keep their slaves obedient and easily controllable. Secretly, they have been organizing a worldwide takeover of planet Earth. And this has been going on for centuries. They create and then use international think tanks, Travistock, Bilderbergers, and many others, secret societies, Illuminati, Jesuits, and many others, and pull the strings of all the systems making up civilized society: religion, politics, law, finance, economy, industry, commerce, health, the media, education, family, environment, etc. It is very important to have an overall vision of all these systems if I wish to succeed in the transformation of my three bodies. It is important to understand the various methods used to control the mind, my thoughts and beliefs, the energy body, my desires and emotions, and the physical body, illness and death. Inside each of these systems, the internal awakening is guided by the soul of each consenting and conscious human being. The apocalypse. Is the apocalypse about the end of the world? You know, the Antichrist, Armageddon, the final battle between good and evil. What does the word apocalypse literally mean? Apocalypse means to unveil or to reveal. The apocalypse is literally a revelation. The book of Revelation in the Bible predicts an unveiling of great truth and unimaginable wisdom. The apocalypse is not the end of the world. However, it is the end of the world as we have known it to be. The prophecy of the apocalypse is one of the most perfect messages of the Bible that has been distorted. The apocalypse is coming. However, it will be nothing like what we have been taught to believe. Since creation, the distorting veils covering human consciousness are presently falling along with all the systems safeguarding modern civilization. Our planet is actually facing unprecedented climatic, biological, geological, magnetic, and cosmic changes. The book of Revelation offers a beautiful example of a shared truth. The last book of the Bible tells a story which is identical to all the other traditions. They all predict the coming unveiling of the great wisdom, the great secret. There's a legend that tells the secret. The secret is buried deep inside and is patiently waiting for a pivotal moment in time when a critical mass of people will be aware of the truth, the knowledge, and the wisdom necessary for the transformation. At that moment, the new being will emerge. I find it interesting to note that mankind has dissipated philosophies that have concurred on one thing: a great enlightenment is coming. In every culture, in every era, in every corner of the world, the human dream has focused on the same exact concept: the transformation of humanity to its true potential. The only thing which can explain such a synchronicity of beliefs is the truth. The universal truth is in everyone's soul. I believe this is the reason why all the stories are similar. They all talk about the truth. Truth has power. And this is why we all gravitate to these same ideas. Truth is written deep within us. When we hear the truth, we feel the resonance deep within us, even if we don't understand it. The truth vibrates with our unconscious wisdom. I believe that the truth can't be learned. It is recalled, remembered, recognized, because it is inside of us. Unveiling the truth is not easy. The forces of darkness are pushing in direct opposition to the light. This is the law of nature and balance. We can clearly see the darkness growing all around us in the world today. However, we must realize that there is an equal amount of light growing. We are on the verge of the transformation. We're all profoundly blessed to be living at this time, this pivotal moment in history. We have all chosen to live in this very narrow window of time, to bear witness to this human transformation. After millennia of darkness, if we consciously choose to, we will take part in this human transformation. The promise of a great transformation has been prophesied forever. Jesus said, "Nothing is hidden that will not be made known, nor secret that will not come to light." The secret hides within, inside of us. We must see God not in the heavens above, outside, but inside ourselves. This was the message of all the great mystical teachers. The kingdom of God is within, inside you, said Jesus Christ. Know thyself, said Pythagoras. Know ye not that ye are gods, said Hermes Trismegistus. And the list goes on. The only difference between God and myself is that I forgot that I am divine. We are creators, but we continue to play the role of the created. We see ourselves as helpless sheep in need of a savior because there is always a culprit, and we insist on living in a triangle of hell. As soon as we begin to become conscious of our true power, we will live in awareness of our creation as conscious creatrix. We will then design reality rather than react to the illusion. Infinite love. From millennium slavery to individual sovereignty. Let's rejoice, because the insanity we are experiencing is an illusion, which is pushing more and more of us to awaken. Our world is in an evolutionary crisis because the human mind is ready to go beyond rational intelligence to a greater consciousness. In the Orient, in the 20th century, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother discovered and anchored truth consciousness, the supramental consciousness in the earthly atmosphere. Since then, the supramental consciousness has been operational on Earth as an active evolutionary power. Once well anchored, the new consciousness was ready to move on to the next stage, its popularization and propagation. In the West, in the 21st century, emerged personal creation. Sri Aurobindo synthesized the Eastern and Western ideas of evolution and boldly declared that humans are transitional beings. They're not final. Evolution continues, and humans will be surpassed. This is the future awaiting humanity. This is an unprecedented adventure of consciousness on Earth. One single and sincere look at the present world situation is enough to convince us that it has reached the point of no return. Let's stop repeating our obsolete ways, which can only bring more suffering. Let us all spread the contagion of infinite love. In these times of irremediable dissolution of the illusion, let us keep our faith ardent with an unfailing sincerity. We must choose our soul at all costs. Infinite love.